I was really obsessed with television growing up, but not the show, but the people who made the show, the executives.
The behind the scenes.
Yeah, the executives. So for me, like, I was like, man, I want to be an executive. Yeah, for me, all my family was, like, my uncles, I met them all out of prison. So all three of my uncles, I met them fresh out of prison. And I just listened to them. They told me to go this way, and I did. So for me, I really do appreciate the brand space, and I think it helped me grow a lot, just doing bigger jobs and like understanding how to produce on a higher level. But for me, man, executive company, so if people know, I create shows, man. I create shows. I want to do major films and stuff like that. This is a great, like I said, I love where my feet is at right now, but it's all about getting to that next level.
Right.
You use this moment to grow.
Cool. All right. Well, welcome to MarVic Productions, MarVic Podcast. Beautiful Thursday, November 16th, I believe.
Sir.
We're a week away from Thanksgiving. Boys, how you doing?
Feeling great.
I'm doing amazing.
Doing good?
Yeah.
Doing good. It's good to see both of you.
Yeah.
Vic, it's my co-host over there. I'm Marlon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Real quick, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all the fans, all the people that are supporting us. I was thinking about it today. I mean, we've shared a few screenshots back and forth, and there's a lot of you showing us a lot of love, just a lot of support, and really with all sincerity, I personally want to say thank you, you know, on behalf of MarVic Productions. And, you know, we're just, we're going to keep rolling with it. We're getting some amazing guests. I'm really excited today to introduce this guy to you guys. And it's the first time that I meet him. I know he's got a crazy story, and I'll let Victor handle more of the intro, but my man, who do we have here today?
So today we have Timothy Martin. I was going to say Timothy Bradley, who's a boxer. You know, my mind automatically goes to boxing. But we have Tim Martin in the house. He's a director, a show creator, a writer, and a producer. Tim, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing so good.
What's up, Tim? Thank you for coming in, bro.
Founder
of Executive Co.
As well, guys. So check that out.
That's short for Executive Company, by the way. It's hard to say it. It's XCTVECO.
Yeah, I was having trouble.
That sounds really
Executive Co.
But I like that,
but
though. It
Executive
sounds,
Company.
Sounds strong, like you're a man of importance.
Yeah.
Which you definitely are.
Man, I'm just working, man. But the company name was pretty much, you know, derived from, I was really obsessed with television growing up, but not the show, but the people who made the show, the executives.
The behind the scenes.
Yeah, the executives. So for me, like, I was like, man, I want to be an executive. So I was like, what can represent, you know, what I want to do and have a name that represents what I do? So Executive Co came about.
I already have a bunch of questions for you because that's so interesting because most people want to be the main character. They want to be on the acting, on the front end of the camera. But you said from a young age, I want to do the behind.
I want to be behind. Yeah, man. Honestly, like, so a little background about me. So I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
My mom had me at 16.
Chirac?
Yeah, Chirac. My mom had me at 16 years old.
You like Lil Durk or?
I love Lil Durk.
Yeah, Lil Durk.
Yeah, it's my favorite artist, actually.
Chief Keef.
Of course.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Nice. But anyways, yeah. So my mom had me at 16. My dad was murdered at 16.
Oh, shit.
And obviously,
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so I went through that circuit in life where it was like my mom, my grandma, my grandpa, they were my rocks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Until eventually.
You said your mom had you at 16?
Yeah, my mom.
And your dad died at 16?
Yes, yeah. I know I kind of brushed past it. But
when you were 16, your dad died?
So let me say it clear. My mom had me at 16, and my dad was murdered at the age of 16 before I was born. So my mom had me. My mom, I was still in my mom's stomach.
Yeah.
My dad was murdered.
Damn.
Yeah, so that was
tough.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah, but you know, like it's hard to say was it tough because I never experienced life with my father.
Right.
All I kind of knew was my mom, who was like, you know, as a kid, you don't know your mom is 17, 18 years old.
That's just mom to you.
Yeah, trying to figure it out. And obviously she leaned on her parents a lot, but television was my escape, man. Like television was a thing that brought me away from those four walls that I lived in.
Took you to another world.
Yeah, another world. So like at the age of 12, I started writing scripts. You know, I started writing scripts, and like my mind was really just like able to like float away and like
it'll get creative. Yeah.
And like the reason why I really wanted to dive into television and like start creating shows or producing, whatever you want to call it, is because it gave me hope. So I wanted to give kids the same feeling that I felt when I watched my favorite show.
So, I mean, all right. So you grew up in Chicago.
Yeah.
dad wasn't there. Mom is both dad and mom for you.
Yeah, definitely.
You mentioned grandparents.
Yeah.
They were there for you?
They were there, yeah. You know, that's how it is. Like, my grandpa was my best friend, literal best friend. You know, like we used to pee in the same toilet at the same time. That's how close we were, you know?
Did you ever call him dad?
Yeah. So my grandma and grandpa never been called grandma and grandpa. It's mom and dad.
Yeah, yeah.
It's only mom and dad.
I feel you on that. My mom passed when I was 4.
Sorry about that, man.
It's okay.
That's way different.
A little bit different because I did get to know my mom, but at the same time, kind of like you, I don't really remember mom.
You don't remember, yeah.
You know, at 4,
yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't remember much. I mean, very few vague memories, and of course, I look at pictures and I kind of get some memories here and there. But my dad's mom, Vicky, who's my grandmother, I call her mom, so I feel you on that. Yeah, calling them mom and dad.
That's what you do. So
siblings, only child?
Yeah, so I do have 2 little brothers. My brother just turned 16. I just saw him in Arizona.
Okay, dope.
Yeah. And I have another brother who's 7. His name is Jeremiah. My 16-year-old brother name's Emmanuel.
Okay. So you're growing up in Chicago.
Yeah, so grew up in Chicago.
12 years old, you discover your passion pretty much in a sense.
So, but at this time, we move away to the city by the name of Rockford. Rockford is a small town. So my mom got approved for public housing.
Okay.
So the public housing location was in Rockford, Illinois.
Where were you before?
Chicago.
Okay.
So so like usually like if you want to live in like the projects or like assistant living, you know, you apply and then they'll send you to a place either where you are or somewhere close.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And Rockford was the closest place. So my roots really became Rockford, Illinois. You know, all of my like childhood memories and like friends and all these things derived from Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah.
So but we was in the projects there for a while, like while I was there, you know, that's when I was writing too.
What was that experience like though, growing up in the projects? Because you know, when I think about Chicago, I think about old block.
Yeah.
And you hear all the stories and like the gang wars and all that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make it clear too. So there's a south side of Chicago and there's a west side of Chicago.
Gotcha.
I was on the west side of Chicago.
Got it.
Now
that's the nicer side?
No, I wouldn't say it's nicer. I would say the south side of Chicago is definitely more popular because of your Dirks and your Chief Keefs.
Yeah, the whole culture.
The whole culture is there. Yeah. Like you said, the O Block and stuff like that is there. Yep. But yeah, on the west side, it's still the same city. It's still the same thing happening on the west side, but it's like an hour away from each other.
Oh, shit.
But it's an hour away, but it's still
same stuff. It's just there's not that many eyes on it.
It's not that many eyes on it, yeah. But the west side is,
Where's Kanye from? Is he from the south or the west?
South.
Okay,
he's
gotcha.
south side. But then there's times you look on Google, is he from Atlanta? Is he from, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, he used to rep Atlanta.
He's from Chicago.
Yeah,
sure.
But he used to rep Atlanta and then so all that stuff. But yeah, south side of Chicago for sure.
What about Polo G? Is he that considered south side or west side?
I would say west side. I never looked into Polo G much, but even though I do love Polo G music, he's a great artist. But I never looked into his side of town,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting because there's a lot of artists that came from Chicago.
Yeah.
A lot of
talent.
A lot of talent in Chicago, to be honest.
No, there's a lot of talent.
And Chicago is also a beautiful city, man.
Man, it's so beautiful.
I haven't been there.
Yeah.
I know I said that like I've been there, but
I thought you've been there the way you
no.
I've had people that have gone and shown me.
I mean the pictures, the movies.
You mean downtown and all
that? Yeah. Like y'all have some river that you guys turn it green for St. Patrick's. It's a very beautiful
clean.
place.
My sister's been to Chicago and she showed me videos and all that, and I was amazed.
Yeah, man, Chicago is a beautiful city, man.
Downtown LA got some cleaning.
No, they got a lot of work. Man, downtown LA has a lot of work too, which I feel like they've been doing a great job. I see they're building a lot of infrastructure here, but man, Chicago. By the way, that skyline was built to inspire. That they built it for that reason. So when you are on that, E-way, it's like, wow, this is inspiring. Seeing these buildings, the way they stacked up, and yeah, man.
So Tim, I gotta ask, man. At age 12, you discover your passion.
Yeah.
Who were some people that you were looking up to at that time, like role models in that field of?
Man, honestly, I watched a lot of Nickelodeon shows.
Okay.
So I really, really love the creators of shows like iCarly and shows like Drake and Josh and Mana Show, which was Dan Snyder. And yeah, I just love the way that he knew how to mix comedy, also some drama. Like he was just really good at creating shows. So. That was my person that I really looked up to.
It's crazy, bro, because I grew up watching the same stuff, but I've never thought about the production side.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. Like, how do you get there though? Because you watch the show.
Yeah.
Like even now, like as a grown ass man, like I mean, it is a little bit different now because I'm aware of like the director side of thing and all that. But at a young age, like, how do you even formulate a thought like that? Like, oh, this is funny. I want to create something like this.
Yeah.
Like how
no,
that.
you know, it's funny. I think there's always something in us that when you find it, you know it.
You know what I mean?
It's
towards
like
that.
dang, something about this thing. Yeah, we're all doing the same thing, but I really love what this is, and I'm gonna look more deeper into it and like the ins and out of it, behind the scenes of it. So that's how I fell in love with it, man.
That's dope.
And you said earlier it was like your escape, you know, like where you wanted to give hope to others. I mean, I'm assuming because you had a rough upbringing then. Like
I would say I had a good upbringing, but I would say the exterior was rough in terms of like I stayed in the house, so my grandma didn't allow me to go outside. So you know we couldn't even cross the street. Oh. But outside of those four walls, there's guys selling drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things going on. Like, you know, it's funny. When I was in Chicago, I didn't know about white people. Because on the west side of Chicago and the south side, you don't see white people. You know, especially when I was born 195. Yeah. But, you know, when I was coming up, the only time you would see a white person is if they were coming to buy drugs or coming to, you know.
Or they got lost.
Yeah.
They made the wrong turn.
That's kind of far. Yeah.
This ain't the city?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
But yeah, so then, like I said, when I moved to Rockford, that's when I really got more immersed into like other worlds where it was like more people, more diverse people. Yeah, but Chicago on the west side was very.
I could totally relate on that because when I lived here, growing up in Los Angeles, it's a dominant Hispanic culture. And we moved up north to Bakersfield, and that was like my first time ever seeing white people.
Yeah,
neighbors.
It was like, dang,
the culture was different. You know, like more
what color
polite.
is that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I used to always think, I was like, white people only want to buy drugs. That was my thing when I was like 6 or 7.
That's all you saw.
Because all I saw was black people on the corner, you know, wearing white T-shirts, selling drugs, and then I
white
seen
people are the buyers, the consumers.
Some of the buyers. So like, like I said, moving to Rockford really opened my eyes and helped me just like grow immensely as an individual and just
understand
like even
okay, they do more than just buy drugs.
Yeah. And I love them, by the way. So I was like, that was just my truth at the time.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people could relate to that as well because it's really something that happens.
Well, I can. I mean, it's really we all have that in common. Like, I mean, you grew up Cudahy. I grew up in South LA.
Yeah, you familiar with Cudahy?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Cudahy, man. Because I was up in Fresno. That's why.
Oh, that's true.
I was up in
Fresno. So I lived in Bakersfield. So Bakersfield and Fresno is about 2 hours away.
Yeah.
I went to college in Merced.
I know about Merced. I went to Merced because when I first went up to Fresno, I had a friend who's from Merced.
Okay.
Who drove up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was just,
you lived there. You didn't go to the college there.
No.
Okay.
He just passed by. He said, "No, this Fresno's better."
But yeah, Merced's not for me. I don't blame you. There's a lot of cows and shit.
Merced was just like what I remember. It was just very grassy and cowy.
You nailed it.
Okay, so it was okay.
I don't think it's changed.
It was very grassy.
Well, so it's the Central Valley, so it's where all our crops. It's a dry, you know.
We need Merced.
We need the whole Central Valley.
Shout out to Merced. Shout out to Merced.
We need shout out the whole Central Valley. That's where our food comes from.
Oxnard. Yeah. Oxnard too.
But nah, man. Growing up, I grew up in Koreatown, mostly Latinos.
Nice.
You know, some Asians.
Isn't that funny? Koreatown, mostly Latinos.
Right. Yeah, it's like the minorities actually the Koreans or the Asians. No, the majority is the Latinos.
Yeah.
We moved to South LA. We got a home. No white people. And like you, it's funny when you said like, you know, you couldn't cross the street without like supervision or an adult or your grandma, whatever. My dad's strategy was let me buy him video games. So my ass would be home.
Yeah, you don't even want to go outside.
Nah. Like I got, you know, I'm playing Call of Duty. Like,
you
know, there's a real war outside. I got the war. I'm number one, you know, number one soldier for Call of Duty. So I definitely feel that like our parents wanting to protect us, but I don't know about you. There was only so much my dad could do. Like, I still find a way to.
Yeah, you still find a way to do things.
You know what I'm saying? Get into a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Like, I know you got.
Yeah, mine's the complete opposite, man. Like, I've been
age 13, you started drinking or something?
Oh, wow.
12. Yeah. Sorry. 12.
But nah, man.
Victor's a savage.
You know, my parents, like, I would walk to school.
Yeah.
By, like, freaking 4th grade, I was walking to school. So when you walk to school, you start seeing what the real world is really about. What's really going on.
Facts.
That's true.
At age, I talk about this a lot, but at age, at 5th grade, I could clearly remember being recruited into gangs. You know, like join this gang, because where I'm living, it's like if you go up this street, it's a gang. You go down this way, it's another gang. So
they wanted you to choose, like,
they wanted us
who
to
are you
choose
going to represent?
Protection type of thing. Like, yo, if you come down this street, there's going to be problems if you're not part of this gang type of thing. So man, being 28 years old now, I look back and I'm like fifth grade.
What'd you do?
I was
like,
10
how'd
years
you
old.
handle all that?
I would just be like, whatever, yeah, I'll think about it. But
Let me get back
definitely,
to you.
it's funny.
Call me back.
Nah, like I was listening to what you said that on the previous podcast with Luis, that you grew up kind of angry. I think in the sense I did too, but I didn't know it at the time because that's all I knew. Like we would go to school before school started, like the first class, we were in the restrooms fighting each other. Like you wanted to show who was tougher, like body shots and things like that.
Right.
And like I remember I used to love that. Like that was my thing. I love WWE, and I just wanted to be the bravest.
Victor,
kid.
why do you love school? Body shots, Mom.
So it's crazy. The culture was different, and when I moved to Bakersfield, you start realizing there's a whole different road out there.
Did that happen to you? Did somebody try to recruit you, or were you ever interested in?
So listen though, I remember just when I was young, 50 Cent was.
Oh shit!
Was the man. So, like, Bulletproof,
G-Unit.
Def Jam, Fight for New York, those type of games. So obviously, when you go to school, I want to say this too. I think blacks and Hispanics, we have a very similar culture.
We do.
So
we do.
Unspokenly, I know there's beef weirdly, when you're young. There's always like black versus, but it's like we have a very similar culture.
But then it's kind of like, I think I was gonna make a joke, but I think it's the Latinas that bring both cultures together.
I like that. But anyways, man, I remember. It's
he
funny.
said facts.
I remember back in grade school. I think second grade or third grade. I had a best friend, and we used to, the pencil sharpener. You put the pencil in the sharpener, the automatic one, and the shavings.
Yep.
We used the shavings like we were selling weed.
Oh shit.
So like you, for some reason, psychologically, you always want to emasculate some type of culture, even if you're not involved in that type of lifestyle.
True.
Even if your mom and your family, good and well,
right,
you ain't got nothing to do with that, but you just want to
imitate.
You want to imitate that. But I remember us like going to the sharpener, just making the pencil go to nothing, and taking. And I had a pencil box full of shavings, and you used to say,
and you would pretend
like it was weed.
Yeah,
that was so crazy. Like,
I actually sold weed in high school.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna get into that.
I mean, it's a crazy story.
You nailed it though about the masculinity, because as I got older, I started learning what my family roots really are.
Yeah.
And truly, my family roots has nothing to do with violence or my family comes from love, a family that's united. It's kind of like Coco brings a lot of memories. Like that's my family. They all play the guitar. They all sing.
The Disney movie Coco?
Yeah, the Disney movie Coco. That's like my family straight up. We all get together. Matter of fact, I have a family reunion. I leave tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
We get together in a mountain called Mount Lebanon, Arizona. Our family from Cali, Arizona, Mexico. We all unite there. There's no signal. There's no distractions. We just all come together and we vibe. And we all just show our family talents, play, whether it's playing volleyball, basketball, singing, dancing. And you get to reunite with family that you haven't seen in a while, right?
Yeah.
So that sounds amazing.
But at the time, growing up again, like you don't know that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really know that about my family. So I'm trying to.
Did you have that growing up?
Imitate
or is that something that recently started happening?
It was something that recently happened, maybe like 5 years ago, I would say.
Okay. So you didn't have it
then. I was more into the culture in the streets.
Of course.
That's all I knew. That was my everyday thing. So it's kind of like, hey, if you want to be the cool guy, you want to be the badass, you got to be brave. You got to, do certain things. And I would hang out with the wrong people that were already affiliated in gangs.
Yeah.
So the best thing my parents did for me was get me out of there. Straight up.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, all my family was like my uncles. I met them all out of prison. So all three of my uncles, I met them fresh out of prison, and I just listened to them. They told me to go this way, and I did. That's one thing I can say. My uncles, they did have a tough life, but they always just told me the right things to do and how to stay focused and how to just like, no matter what they're doing over there, do what you want to do in a positive way.
Right.
And I took their advice. So,
that's dope.
And they're always super proud of me now. They're doing great now, but.
That's good to hear.
Back in the 80s and 90s, they was going through their
and that was a crazy culture, like a time as well. Like 80s was,
it was
crack and all that, So a lot of people were involved in that game. So That's interesting though. Like they're able to tell you based on their experience. Like, yo, like you want to go this way, don't go this way.
Yeah, and I listen too. A lot of people and kids, they don't listen. They think they know everything, but I don't know nothing. You know, one thing about me, I love information. I love asking questions and just like people talking to me. I don't like talking a lot. Like I like you to tell me, like, give me game, give me, because I don't know everything, you know?
Yeah.
And also like you just get further when you listen.
Right.
Versus trying to always talk and always trying to get your point across. So
what's that one saying is like you got 2 years, one mouth, 2 years to listen.
And I'm a listener, man. And I ask questions and I'm a listener.
Yeah. That's good, bro.
Yeah.
You always got to be a student.
Yeah, always a student, yeah.
There's a quote that says, one of the things I know is that I don't know it all.
Yeah.
Like I know nothing type of thing. And it's a good mindset to have in your day-to-day basis because you're always learning, always, you know, taking in knowledge and applying that knowledge as well. So that's good right there.
Definitely.
On that note, brother, so, all right, you wrote your first script at 12.
Yeah, 12 years old. I remember it was like a little Disney thing I wrote. Like, I forgot exactly what this one was, but I
was going to say, do you remember? I mean, it's your first one.
It's my first one. I forgot what that one was. But I know my second one was like, it was called Maggie the Mathlete.
Okay. Maggie the who?
It was called Maggie the Mathlete. Maggie and the Mathletes.
What was that
What's
about?
Mathlete.
Mathlete is like a genius mathematician, like a kid.
Oh, mathlete.
Yeah,
got
mathlete.
it. Okay.
Maggie the Mathletes. I remember because, like I said, I love live action sitcoms. So I wrote a live action sitcom, which was that one. Yeah. And I think it was about Maggie, who was the main character, and she joined a mathlete camp during the summer. So she thought her summer was going to be filled with joy and fun and going to like, you know, concerts. Yeah. But her mom put her in a math camp, so she became a mathlete for the summer. So that was my second thing.
Yo, the fact that you created all that.
I remember.
How old were you there at that time?
Yeah, I was about 13 or something because I remember my first one was 12, but then I just started just doing more and more. And
I'm just thinking because like I'm amazed when I see somebody draw something because I can't draw for shit.
Yeah.
But for you to envision something in your brain and your mind and make and write it down and really make it come to light, I think that's like the beautiful thing about art, right?
Yeah, man. And writing is my number one thing, man. I just love words. I love writing. I love like going through things and putting it on paper and making it into a story. So that's been my thing my whole life. Yeah. And it's got me through so much.
I'm going to have you write a story about my life. And
for sure, man. I definitely can.
Write it and direct it.
Yeah, write and direct it.
Okay, so you remember your second one.
Yeah.
All right, so you're growing up.
Yeah.
You guys got into the project housing. What high school, college?
Oh yeah, sure, man. So before we get there, man, I actually went through a big stint of music videos. So that's how that's how I learned like all of my editing and directing and like just camera placement, lights.
Is that where your nickname came from?
So my nickname actually is Hard Rock. So it came from my grandpa.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, I guess I was hard headed back when so Hard Rock was my nickname. So
that's okay, that's good you clarified because it could mean something else.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So yeah, I got the Hard Rock tatted on me.
Nice.
So yeah, director Hard Rock. When you see that, that's what that means. It's just
you.
A director, but then my nickname is Hard Rock.
That's dope, though.
So yeah, man.
Grandpa gave you that name.
Yeah. So like Hard Rock Digital Films was my first company that I started, and I remember I was 16 when I did that one. So I did like so many music videos like through Indiana, Chicago, and Rockford. Just like
at 16,
always shooting videos.
How'd you get into that? So how did you
honestly,
go?
Well, you know
how did you become the guy to do videos?
So honestly, man, there's a lot of local rappers. I bet there's a lot of here, like you know, outside of the city. You know,
yeah.
So all you
trying to come up.
Yeah,
tap in.
Martin spit some rhymes.
I'm actually, you know what? If you throw a beat on, I got some heat.
The reggaeton.
Nah, bro, nah. Hell no, I'm gonna probably lose all my followers if I start rapping.
But yeah, man, the main thing for me was just doing music videos. But I knew I wanted to get to bigger stuff, like you know, like what I'm doing now, which is like some of the like TV stuff or some of the brand stuff and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to start holding the camera, learning camera placements,
get familiarized.
Yeah, get familiar with editing and all that stuff. So that's what took me to another height.
Okay, I gotta dissect that though, because I'm like you. I like information.
Sure.
And it's just you're a whole different world from mine.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's super interesting, and I'm like, okay, I need to like kind of see what moves you made. So you knew there were local rappers, so you networked.
From school, like you know, people that just talk. Yeah.
What about equipment? How'd you get equipment?
My mom bought me a Canon T3i.
Shout out to moms.
That was the first camera that I got. It was $600. I remember she bought it off Amazon. And
for your birthday or just?
I think she just bought it. Like she just finally.
Knew.
Yeah, she knew I really loved what I was doing. Like, and I was really doing it a lot with like a.
Did you ever express yourself to her like, hey, Mom, this is what I want to do?
You know, one thing I always did, always walk the talk.
That's right.
So she saw what I was doing, like
that.
with just a digital camera. I remember it was a camera, like a rectangle, and then you pull it out, and there was a screen right there, and I just used that. But you see my passion. You see me doing a lot of different things. So eventually she said, okay,
I need to support my boy.
I'll give you a bigger camera.
Where would we be without
I don't even
parents,
know.
man? Like,
so the Canon T3i was my first camera, and that's when my videos just went crazy. Like
quality,
the quality went crazy. Like
I bet
everything just was like another level. So
yeah.
So shout out to moms for that.
That's dope, man. It reminds me of this time. It has nothing to do with like, it kind of does. It ties in a bit. But I'm a big Los Angeles Chargers fan. Back then, there were San Diego Chargers.
Ooh.
And football. I love football.
Yeah.
You know, so two of my passions is boxing and football. Love those two sports, right?
Okay.
And one day I remember coming home from school. My dad, he wouldn't come. I would see my dad once a week, which was Saturday. He surprised me one day. He got home on a Wednesday, I believe it was. And I went upstairs to my room, and there was a football there with gloves. And to me, I was just like, oh, shit.
It meant the world to you.
It meant the world to me. I was so excited. And I was like, yo, Dad, wake up. You know, come throw the ball at me. And I'm just wearing my gloves. And shit.
Man. Shout out all the parents that, actually, like, you know, consider their kids and support them in their dreams. And even the ones that, you know, want to but can't, you know, as long as there's some love there, I think, you know, that's all that matters. But so you get that camera, you start moving up the game.
I did that camera, and then I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit.
No, you're good. You're good. Take your time, bro. Because we'll slow it back down.
You know, yeah. So I did this short film, and this short film, what was the name of this short film, man? But this is a perfect transition to LA. I forget the name of the short film, man. But I did this short film, and I put it into a film festival.
Okay.
It's called
Sundance.
It's called the Rockford Film Fest.
Okay.
It was in Rockford.
Okay.
And from the Rockford Film Fest, I was able to get a call from LA.
From out here.
Los Angeles.
How old are you when this happened?
I was 18.
And you're 28 now, so 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Got it.
I got a call to come work at this company in LA.
Yo.
Called Punch TV. And pretty much just help the CEO, help the company, marketing, all these things. So that's what pretty much
brought you out here to LA.
Yeah, like to another level. So in terms of working out here,
right?
On the film stuff.
It's definitely interesting because as I'm hearing you, obviously you're very young.
Yeah,
you're in high school, but it sounds to me as you're already moving as an adult.
Yeah, because
taking action.
Yeah, you know the thing is, you gotta know where you're going. That's my thing. I always knew where I wanted to go, so I know the moves to make to get there. Like I knew I had to just move. Right. And one thing I would say too, a lot of people wait till things are like lined up perfectly when it's impossible. You know, like there's never been a time, even now with what I do now, which we will get into, where rent is paid, light is paid, I'm not stressed about nothing. It's never been a time like that. It's always
scattered.
It's always been craziness happening through everything that I do.
That's the process.
Yeah, so I understood that, like, even though I'm going through all these storms, I still got to know how to move diligently through these storms to get to the destination.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, or just move. Like you may not even know how to, but just go, take action.
I think people have a false image thinking that they have to have all their ducks in order and it's gonna be perfect. You're just gonna go on a straight line, but no, it's
that's
like
such
really,
a big.
It's just
it's a big excuse.
It's a big excuse.
Yeah,
and the truth is like without those, margins there where you move around, you don't build that character.
Yeah.
You need those,
setbacks, challenges.
You need those setbacks. You need those
to form you.
Pressure to form you straight up. Yeah. They say diamonds are made under pressure. And without that pressure, you're not gonna develop. So I'm a big believer on that of just taking action and just going. Like if you hit the wall, you're gonna learn from that.
Yeah, you're gonna learn from something.
I just can't help but think of like parents. Like, oh, when's the right time to have a baby? Like never.
There's never a right time.
Right.
Like just have the baby and just you'll grow. You'll grow as an adult, a parent.
There's no formula like here you go, bro.
There isn't.
Here's how to be a parent.
And I'm glad we're touching on that. I don't think that's something we've like really talked on before, and feel free to share more on it. But like everybody's life is different. We've clearly we have similarities, but for sure we all had different upbringings. So it's like there's no right or wrong way to do it. And I think that's another big one is like something that goes along the lines of being ready or having all your ducks lined up. It's like, oh, well, so-and-so had this before that. Okay, but that's so and so.
Yeah.
You're not them. Like your journey is going to be different, and you just got to trust the process.
Exactly.
And go
it
through
might take a little longer as well because so and so had that, but you'll be more developed as well. And, and you got to understand that your road is different, and you're creating your own lane.
Or you could go quicker than that other person.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know.
That's true.
Question for you, bro. I'm the one that like slows it down, and I got.
Let's go ahead.
Okay, before LA though, hold on a second, because this is where you're.
It's interesting.
Okay, because you came to LA and you've been here since, right?
Yeah, I came out here
19 then or something?
No, I was about that age.
Okay.
So that's 2016, 2017.
I'd say 2015. No, 2016.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah.
Okay.
I was 19 in 2016.
Okay, so that's when like you changed locations. But hold on, you said so you made a short film.
I made a short film. It was called Boy Named Spirit.
You remember?
It came to me. So it's called Boy Named Spirit.
Boy Named Spirit.
Yeah.
Got
Boy
you.
Named Spirit, and the guy that I had in it, who was like a really mentor, a friend. His name was Daryl Gregg. He had ties to a company out here in LA.
Okay.
Connections.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was in it. And after that, I was able to start working for that company, but still back home though. I never came to LA, never saw them yet. Never. So I was still.
Oh, okay. Got it. You were hired, but you were still back
I'm still there. Yeah. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. Cause I'm thinking, like you saw it. What I'm trying to dissect is the mindset, right? And you're a man of action. You said, I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. I love that. Young entrepreneurs, man, young people, Chicago, wherever they are right now, like, that want a break. They want an opportunity because everybody wants to make it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
we're all praying. Like we're like, oh, we hope our podcast takes off. We hope your films, take off. Yeah. You saw like the opportunity to submit a film, so you said, "What? I'm gonna create a film.
I'm gonna create a film.
I'm gonna put it in here
and put it in there, and then
see what happens.
See what it does."
And it landed on the right hands.
It really good. Yeah. So like, and it helped a lot. It really catapulted me to work, get a check from LA.
Yeah.
My first check from LA.
But you were 18, bro.
I was 18. Yeah, I was young.
You're not supposed to move that fast,
man.
I
was young, man. Like,
I mean, shoot, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta strike at a very young age.
Yeah. You gotta go.
Especially if the opportunity is already in front of you. So,
right. I mean, what would you say to someone that's like, I'm sure did you have, or maybe you didn't, did you have anybody telling you slow down?
Well, let me tell you this. What I would tell people is you gotta understand your net worth is your net worth.
I said that this morning.
You
actually,
have to understand that
it
does not matter how good you are at film or writing or producing, whatever you do, you have to have people that
yes, sir,
who can lend you to the next person. This is a referral-based business. It's not you're really great at what you do, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
It's connections.
It's I know you, you're good at what you do, or you're okay at what you do.
I like you.
Because I know you, I'm gonna help you. So yeah, like I said, my friend who was in the film knew somebody out here in LA.
Connections.
Who had a company, a big company, a TV network.
Yeah.
And
how'd you meet him in the first place?
Honestly, I remember being in Rockford in my home, and my mom said, "Someone's shooting a movie outside." What? So I look outside and I see this guy with like a reality TV show camera. So it was like the big camera with the lights, like it was like an official camera.
Yeah,
it was more official than yours.
I never seen that. It wasn't like the digital. It was like he was like this.
He said, "I gotta go talk to that."
So I was like, I gotta go talk to him, and he had to be about, cause I was about 18, 17 or something. I was young, but he was I think 40 something. But he like latched on to me, and we became like friends. He became a mentor.
He probably saw a younger version of himself.
That's what he said. That's what he said, and he's a big reason of
everything coming together for you.
Yeah, me working out here, me getting a job out here. Like he's a big reason of why I started working in the business out here. I'm saying. Yeah.
In a sense, he guided you in the right direction to make your dreams come true as well.
He did, but one thing I always tell people too is about what you do in order for people to help you. It's not necessarily. It's never like, oh, I helped you. It's because you did what you had to do.
Exactly.
And then they said, you know what? He's doing what he had to do, so I want to
They saw the value.
I want to contribute to his life and like sow a seed in his life.
Yeah.
He's not just talking about it, he's being about it.
He's doing it, so I'm going to refer you to my people. And boom.
What do you say to someone that wants to do, let's just use your example.
Yeah.
Let's say you've got, a youngin that wants to do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
But they're not contributing, taking action, but they want to get there. What do you say to that person?
Take action.
Well, I would tell them a few things. The first thing I would say is, okay, because it's okay to be timid in life, because life is a scary place. You know, like putting yourself out there is a scary place.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm not that rah-rah guy that's like, keep going. I am that person to me, but I understand people are not like that. I was an athlete my whole life. You know what I mean? So I have that rah-rah in me to like, but
That competitive nature.
people ain't built like that.
Yeah.
So I will tell them to take your time, read.
Big.
Yeah, read is super important. Study. It's not necessarily about always doing something, but doing something is learning something. So you don't necessarily got to be out there filming or writing or directing, because some people are like really, really scared of those things. So I would tell them, just get your game up, study a little bit more, and move at your pace.
That's good.
You know what I mean? So
become more valuable.
Yeah, become more valuable. You know, and it's okay to take a job as an assistant, man. So let me give you the whole story now.
Please.
So when after the film festival with the network I was working at, I don't want to say the name because it was a weird experience.
Sure.
But I will say that it was a Comcast subsidiary. That's what I would say. But
anyway,
is
it?
No, yeah. So I would say that, yeah. But the thing is, like, they get no free promo. You know, I'm not doing it. So
no.
respect them.
We ain't doing it.
None but love for them, though. But anyways, I was able to work under the CEO of this company. Sorry, I went too fast. So after I did the stuff back home, when I finally came to LA, I was able to physically work for them. Like, I went to the office. They have a really huge studio in Santa Fe Springs. So I was able to work for them under the CEO, to be exact. So I was literally the assistant to the CEO. We had people from Disney coming in there, like big executives coming in all the time. And, like, I used to assist them, get them coffee. You know what I mean? Like, how you doing today? Like, you know what I mean? Like, all these things. I was not necessarily the guy. You know what I mean? But, like, I was able.
But you were surrounded by the guys.
I was surrounded by the people, you know? I was able to just, like, observe what was going on and observe the business that was happening around me.
It reminds me of Will Smith in the movie Pursuit of Happiness, you know, where he was, like, an assistant where it was like, hey, yo, go get me coffee. And he would get coffee, and then he would go back, make the phone calls. But he was around everybody.
That environment.
That environment.
And just so they know, I had the suit on getting coffee.
Oh, shit.
I was the guy with the suit on getting coffee because I knew always, like I said, the executive thing is in me. So whether I was assistant or a producer at the time, I was going to dress to impress, and, like, I was going to let them know, like, I'm a man of importance.
That was your choice to dress that way.
Yeah,
It wasn't required.
Yeah, it wasn't required. Nah.
You're 18 at this time?
Yeah, I was 21 at this time.
Okay.
I was 21. I came out here, so that's when I finally came out to LA.
Okay, 21.
And worked at the company.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're wanting to make a statement.
Make a statement, man, and just.
I always heard something I heard in business as well is dress the way you want to be addressed.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
and
I like that.
My dad always told me too. Like there was times, bro, where I would be in sandals and socks and like basketball shorts.
Yeah.
I remember my dad checked me. He said, "This is the last time I ever want to see you come out in streets like this. Every time you step out this door, you have to dress and be presentable. Because you never know when an opportunity is going to present itself to you.
Yeah.
And when you shake somebody's hand, you look them directly in the eyes. So you let them know you mean business.
Exactly.
I always took that and I carried that with me.
Yeah.
Is that why you always look at my soul?
I always look in people's eyes when I shake their hands, give them a firm handshake, and also I dress nice. You know, like I don't want it. The only time you're gonna see me not dress nice is when I'm inside my house.
At the crib, yeah.
Yeah, I'm at the crib. But every time I step outside, I like to look presentable.
Yeah.
And that's just the way I carry myself.
Yeah.
I like that. Dress how you want to be addressed.
Yes, sir.
That's the first time I hear that.
And that's really true. Yeah.
I heard it back in.
So you said you know, one of your pieces of advice is like be an assistant if you have to.
Yeah.
So there was no ego. There's no pride.
Oh man.
That's a good question.
It's an accomplishment.
Well, because I mean,
look, man, if someone respects you enough to put you in charge of their life, practically, that's a compliment to you.
So your perspective on being an assistant is not your typical perspective.
It's a compliment.
It's
like you trust me to manage your books and manage your calendar and greet your guests and get them coffee, and
that's an honor.
You want me to talk to them first?
Right. It's a privilege.
Yeah, it's a privilege, man, and like you get to learn. Like
that's funny, dude. And you got an interesting perspective because most people, that's not the definition. Assistant, I'm the one getting the coffee.
Yeah. No,
I'm the one.
But that's where you got to really put your ego to the side and understand that, yo, I'm a student right now. Like I got to earn my stripes. I like that perspective though. Like to be able to be humble enough and understand where you're at, but where you still want to go.
Yeah, that
says a lot about you.
Man, that's how I was the whole time when I was there, you know. And I got a lot of respect from everybody who worked with me and who I saw. Like,
I can feel it, man. You've got good energy for sure. Like I can tell you're a focused kid.
Let me tell you something. I'm a mentor to everyone back home for me. Everyone back at the crib is I'm a mentor, because
when you say crib, you mean Chi-Town?
Yeah, Chicago, okay. Rockford, all those areas. Like when people see me, like I want them to know that like
your hope.
Right.
Nah, I want them to know that like it's okay. Like and I think people don't understand, like people are so anxious to make things happen, and I want them to know that I'm not. Like if you go to my social medias and stuff like that, I get like people like every time I post something, they're like, "Oh, this is crazy!" Like on Facebook, like, but I tell them like, man, it's about taking it in strides, man. I'm not like rushing to the top or anything.
I love that.
Just taking my time, man.
Everything at its own time.
Yeah, like so, like people don't understand. Like it went from me having a dream. Right, well, no, it went from me watching a TV show, then having a dream, then writing scripts, then doing music videos. Then doing little short films. Then I was assistant for years. You know what I mean? Then I did a lot of independent TV works, like TV network stuff, and now I'm doing like NFL, YouTube. Like
that's crazy.
So it's like but you don't understand. There's a long path to that.
Man, as I'm hearing you, it just reminds me of this saying, like it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yeah,
because in the journey, it's the process.
Yeah,
this is where you're putting in the work. This is where you're grinding, you're learning, and people. I feel like people want success like tomorrow, like a microwave. They just want to throw in a minute in there and be successful, but they don't understand that you got to go through this whole process.
It's more of an oven.
It's more of an oven. You got to let it marinate, cook, all that. So you can.
How do you? I got a question for you. How do you manage? Okay, because like you're big on timing in the sense of like it'll happen when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. How do you deal with? How do you combine? How do you throw urgency in there?
Man, well, I feel like you throw urgency in there by just steadily moving through the stuff. Like we said earlier, like there's going to be a lot of stuff that's always hitting you. I just feel like urgency is just constantly moving. Like when I play sports, it's about active rest. It's not about rest. When you do the gassers, you do 10 gassers, active rest. What does that mean? Do jumping jacks in one spot.
Don't
you're
just stay still.
You're resting, but you're doing jumping jacks.
Still moving.
Or like do burpees. You know what I mean? That's active rest. So it's like you got to understand the concept of active rest.
Right.
And I ran track. So you ran track? Did you run
track? No, I
Yeah.
ran from the police.
Well, let me tell you how track helped me in life. So I used to run this event in track called the 200-meter dash. The 200-meter dash is half. Like, like it's full 360, but then you just run from one end, then you do a curve, and then a straight.
Bam.
But if you notice, you line up on a stagger, meaning lane 1 is all the way back here, and lane 8 is up here.
It looks like they're ahead.
So it looks like they're ahead. And that's life. It's always going to look like someone's ahead of you. But guess what? You continue to run your race.
Your lane.
And when you hit that curve, you will see who was actually winning the whole time.
Right.
So lane 1, you can be like, they're all the way up there. Like
they won already.
They already won.
Yeah.
But you hit a curve, and it's like,
oh,
wait a minute. Oh. And then you win the race. So it's like, man, like
but you got to run your race.
Yeah. So with me, I run on the stagger of life. For me, it's about the stagger of life. It's not about, I may not look like I'm in front. It may be a lot of people that's in lane 8, in lane 7, in lane 6. I'm in lane 1. But I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to stop running.
I like that. So active rest.
Active rest.
Not just regular rest.
Not just rest and just like, all right, I'm going to throw in the towel in. Yeah, I'm going to just lay down today.
Yeah.
And like.
It reminds me, it's like when your body's sore, right? Yeah. I think people have the misconception where it's like, all right, my body's sore, I'm just going to chill. But then you realize, like, you get up and it hurts more.
Yeah.
If you start moving the body, the blood, you don't feel as sore.
You don't feel it because you keep it muscles moving, blood
Stay
flowing.
Warm.
Yeah. So, yeah, man.
Bro, I love your perspective, man. I love that. I had never heard it in that perspective there. I love that. I'm gonna take that from you.
So, guys, if you're watching, run on the stagger of life.
Right.
How do you
compare yourself?
Yeah, don't compare yourself, man.
That's
okay. I want to touch on that. So, like, it sounds like you're very focused.
Yeah.
You understand to stay in your own lane.
Definitely.
You've always been that way.
Always been that. I would literally say I've always been that way, man. Like when everyone was partying in high school, I was writing scripts, man. That's a common story when I talk to people from my past, I'm like, Tim, I remember you in middle school. I remember you in grade school writing scripts. I'm like, what? You remember me writing scripts in this? Like, yeah, man. Like, yeah, I didn't have my first drink until I was 23, 24 years old. Like, yeah, because I didn't want to have that story. You see, I don't want to have a story that's like this. Remember that time we went to the bar and we got super drunk and I threw up in the toilet and we all, I wanted the story like, yo, remember the president of BET came down and met with me? And that's my story. Remember I met with the vice president of ABC Studios?
You knew how you wanted to be identified.
It's just higher standards.
Yeah, and those are my stories. You know, I can tell people like, yo, literally the president of BET is my mentor. They'll be like, what? Yeah. No, literally, like I cold emailed him on a crazy day when I left the studio, the company I was working at. I cold emailed him and he responded. And a week later, he flew to LA. We met at the L'Hermitage in Beverly Hills. Sat down. Yeah, L'Hermitage in Beverly Hills. We sat down, and after that, I went to Chicago to see him because he lives in Chicago. And from then, he's been my mentor. No one has that story. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, you can have your stories of when you did that. Nah, I'm gonna tell you the story, or it's like the story of like how me and the vice president of ABC Studios got
together.
Like how do you get that relationship?
Right.
Without ever doing something on that scale. It's just about.
Yes, it sounds to me like at a young age you wanted. You knew how Tim wanted to be identified as. Exactly.
And
that's huge.
Exactly.
Huge.
And I didn't want it to be fake. It's really me. Like, I'm really the guy that you will see on the street with a polo on. Like, you know,
right,
I'm
like
really
like
this individual. You know, like, it's not like I did this for the podcast. Like, I'm really going to be this guy that have a watch on. My earrings, my earrings, like, I'm debating on eventually losing these. But
why? They look.
Yeah,
got a little sauce on there, bro. You in LA?
Yeah,
maybe you go back to Chicago. You might have to take. I don't know.
It's dope, but you know, I'm still thinking because, like I said, I really want to be an exec. You know, so
I feel you though. As you grow up,
all
though,
that attention and stuff like that. I don't need all this attention. The chain, the chains.
Let's man. You know what? Let's talk about that because. Again, I'm like in the mindset right now of misconception. Yeah. You know, growing up, we look at music videos, we look at artists, we look at rappers. What do they got? They got chains on, they got this, they got that. Yeah. But that's really all just an illusion, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Well, I would say that it depends on the field you're in too, though, right? Yeah. Like you want to be an exec.
Yeah, I want to.
So that your part looks different.
Yeah, my part looks different.
If you're a rapper,
right? But what I'm saying is like, at least for me. Watching stuff like that, I used to define that as success.
Yeah,
You know, it can be.
What was it?
Yeah, it can be. I mean, it can.
You mean to bring the price of it, right? Like,
No. I mean, like he's saying, he's associating these materialistic things with success. Yeah, they can be. It's not necessarily a no.
It can be, right? But I've learned to understand that you know you don't need all the flash. Yeah. Like the ones that really got it ain't really flashing.
Yeah. So
I define myself. I said, yo, who do I want to be? Do I want to be this cat or I want to be that cat? Yeah. Well, you know what? This cat right here, he looked like
he's got more money than
Mr. Flashy. He looks like whatever, but yo.
Yeah.
It's usually the quiet ones driving Priuses.
Yeah.
You got a Prius?
That's true. No. That's funny. But yeah, man. I remember growing up. The music video with Birdman and Lil Wayne.
Yo, what?
Or Juvenile. What was it? It was called
Juvie.
Back That Thing Up.
Oh yeah, when you back that thing.
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
So I'm gonna tell you the earring story.
Oh, okay. So, I thought you were gonna say like you were there to film that. I'm like,
I was gonna say
you weren't born yet.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say when I used to watch that music video, I used to see the little kids in there with earrings in their ear. Oh shit. So I remember going to the bathroom, taking a tissue, balling it up like a earring and
putting it on,
and I see myself in it, and I'm like, yeah, I like this. Come to find out, that was his daughter. I thought there was boys, I thought there were boys wearing earrings.
That's funny.
Come to find out it was their daughters, like so. But I did like the way it looked on me, the earrings. So I was
it looks good on you.
So I was like,
but I feel you on the more mature. You're leveling up.
Yeah, leveling up, and but my excuse right now is I'm young.
That's right.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, in 5th grade, I got my ears pierced. I remember all my boys were doing it in 5th grade. Yeah, and literally, one of my friends just took his earrings, disinfected it, and just popped it.
Wow.
I remember I got home. That's how I got my ears pierced.
You did it. That's
some hood shit.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Okay. So I got home.
That's some Bakersfield shit.
Yeah. No, this is LA still. This is on some Cudahy shit. And I get home, and my mom is like, what? Like, what the hell? Like, you should have just told me. I would have taken you. So sure enough, she takes me.
At least he disinfected it. Like,
Yeah.
what a
Because I only
considerate
had
guy.
one pierce.
And remember back in the day, the one
Yo,
thing.
and like he didn't even put it on. Right? It was like probably like up here.
Crooked.
So my mom took me to go get my ears pierced. I get my ears pierced 5th grade. I'm like 10 years old.
Yeah.
I come back to the hood, and then all my friends' uncles are making fun of me, calling me Daddy Yankee, because Daddy Yankee was like that was his time, his prime. So they'll be like, "Hey, yo, Daddy Yankee, Daddy Yankee."
You know Daddy Yankee? Yeah.
That's what
he had an era, man.
Yeah. He's still going strong.
Yeah, but I took him off. I'm like, yeah, nah.
So you took him off. So you decided, okay.
So like, man, you've been very thoughtful. I'm pretty like taken back because you did start at a young age.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I'm thinking about myself. Like I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
No way, bro. At 12, for you to have that much clarity on your vision, like, bro, like, it's just really impressive, and for you to tune into your calling.
Yeah, it helped me
that early.
Yeah, it helped me just be more confident in life too. My decision making.
You move different.
Was confident.
Yeah, you've just moved faster.
Yeah, because we all think that we should be doing something because that's what we see on TV or we see our friends doing it. Like I said, like whether it's partying or doing drugs or drinking, whatever it is, or being just like kind of just like a crazy person. But it's like, no, I want to stay focused on my goal and on my task because I know what the future looks like. It's not about right now. Right now, this is what it is. I'm talking about the future, man. When your friends back home are just working at Walmart. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
but but I'm saying they're gonna be doing the bagging at Walmart. You're just gonna be like, you got a couple kids in there. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I didn't want to be that person. So I'm like, yo, I gotta apply myself.
Did some of that, Tim, have to do with like maybe seeing mom struggle and family struggle?
A lot of it did. A lot of it was like seeing the boys on the corner just slinging. Just seeing my mom doing what she's doing. Look. There was 2 situations for me: either lights on, or no heat. There was 2 choices because there were some times when I come home and there would be
Chicago get cold.
Yeah. So there would be some times where there would be no lights because obviously we didn't pay it, and sometimes no heat. So we decided the best option is to do the electricity because you can put the water on a Bunsen burner, heat it up, and put it in a tub. Maybe like water. six pots of it, and then you're good.
Wow.
But yeah, man, so it was tough. Yeah, but yeah, that's a big part of it, man. Just like going through that.
Damn. Bro, like, just hearing you say that, it's like we all think we're going through shit.
Yeah.
And then you hear someone else's story and you're just like, fuck.
Bro, I remember coming home.
I never went through something like that.
No,
but hearing that.
This is real story. Like, it was 2 choices. My mom, I remember it was like a special day at school. And my mom said, do you want to wear the jogging pants today or the jeans today? Because it was only one or the other. She was like, for the special day, do you want to wear the jeans or the jogging pants? I wanted to wear the jeans for special day. So, yeah, the jogging pants was the choice. But, yeah, the next day I had the jeans. I had 2 choices, the jogging pants or the jeans.
Gotcha.
And then I remember coming home, a lot of times, just candles burning. Candles burning. It was so like, I was just like, the worst thing was the lights being cut off. And that was my worst thing because the lights being cut off was just like.
Yeah, how do you write scripts with no light?
Yeah, no, and that's another thing too. A lot of times, there's moments where I'm not doing nothing because you're
just surviving.
Yeah, I am trying to focus on surviving and focus on coming up. I'm trying to just focus on whether it's going to school, trying to just like, I don't know, focus in school. But yeah, those days with the candles.
Were you good at school since like your main focus was like?
No, of course not.
My man.
Hey, I saw something today. There's a meme going around that says like, actually no, it's not a meme. I apologize. It's an actual study where this guy's talking about like the students that would average a C in school usually end up being like the millionaires.
Oh wow,
and the billionaires because
their focus is elsewhere.
I was about to say that. Yeah,
right.
My focus was not on school, man. Like I was just focused on being a class clown. That was my attention getter going to school. I used to get attention there.
As you're going through all that, it's hard to say that didn't fuel a fire in you, like where you're kind of like, all right, my purpose is bigger. I got to get out of here. I gotta do my thing.
Yeah.
So we can have some lights on. Type.
No, that's true, man. Like my drive it got to the point where the bill was in my name and I wasn't 18 yet.
Oh shit.
So we went to stuff like that. What else you gonna do though? Like if you're a single mom trying to figure it out. Yeah, you got to do some stuff. You got to maneuver. I remember this because when I was 18, I got a letter from the
water
heating company. Obviously, I never had no home, so
you're like, this gotta be a mistake.
But it's like, can you be mad? Yeah, because it benefited me.
Well, mom had to do what she had to do.
Yeah, so like, that was like.
How's mom now? Where is she back in?
She's great now. She lives in Arizona now. Okay, like I said, I got my 2 brothers. Yeah, she just moved to Arizona.
How does she feel?
I'm in Arizona.
Oh, my mom is
she's proud of you for sure.
She's so proud.
Yeah.
She's proud, like, and that's hard to hear your mom proud of you. Like, your parents like, I'm proud of you. Like, on a real note, like, not just like, oh, I'm proud of you, but no, she's real proud of me.
I bet
it feels good.
Hey, yo,
put that camera to work.
Yeah, my mom's never told me she's proud of me, but
you see,
but listen to this. Yeah. I threw on the first podcast and she's seen it, and man, she was so excited. She started like recording it, sending it to her friends.
Can I just say I'm proud of you,
bro?
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
What about me?
I'm proud of you.
And you know what, bro? Those
Bryce is proud of me.
Those little words sometimes.
It helps.
It helps a lot. When somebody looks at you and say, yo, man, I believe in you. Like for me, when people looked at me and they said, yo, Vic, I believe in you. I didn't take that lightly.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, man, like this person believes in me. I got to fucking believe in myself.
Yeah.
And I can't let this person down. Like I took that like a badge of honor.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
So, bro, let's get to it, man. So,
before are you going to jump into the present?
A little bit, yeah.
Before there. Okay. Yeah. Just I'm curious. Like, you seem like clearly you weren't perfect. You had your imperfections, right? You weren't a grade A student, all that. What about shorties? Did you get any shorties? Like, it sounds like nothing distracted you.
No, I didn't let them distract me, man.
How'd you manage the shorties?
He said my dreams are more important.
The best thing
sorry, girl.
I say this. The best thing to manage the shorties is get one. That's the best way, because you're going to need something. I don't care what nobody say.
They're not ready for this.
You're going to need something. But just get one, because if you're always trying to get a girl, that's a lot of focus and energy and time.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of work.
Get you a little something. It don't matter how she look, man.
Did you have one? Did you?
Okay. Yeah, I had to, man. So like, but I'm this type of guy like this. You want to cuddle? I swear that's how it is. I swear to God, I got the Mac computer sitting on the bed, editing. We cuddling.
This man never stops.
I swear it was.
Baby, I love you.
It was like that for me, man. It was so
massage my back.
It was so serious, man. I'll go to practice where I'm doing track or football at the time. But yeah, when I'm home, bro, I got that Mac sitting in front of me. I'm editing. I'm writing. I'm cuddling up. I swear I got that laptop or my computer.
Oh, you gotta let the shorties know you ain't playing.
But I will say, man,
that probably made you even more attractive to these girls. Like, oh, he's going places.
Yeah,
I've never seen someone like this.
But get you somebody, though. I will say that it's important. Like,
it's important to have somebody that understands where you're going. That's not gonna make your life harder.
Yeah,
you got somebody right now?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
good.
Yeah. He's not single, so don't hit him up. Like, have some respect.
But it's funny that you say that, because I see your Instagram posts and you're always on the computer.
Always on man, that's true. I'm always on the computer, man, because I'm always doing different
tasks. You on the jet ski.
Surprised you don't have it right now.
Yeah, I was on the jet ski.
I saw the computer in the front. But okay, bro.
Go ahead.
What I want to jump into. So you come to LA. You're an assistant. You said you did that for 3 years?
Yeah, like 3 years. I got fired 3 times, by the way, guys.
Oh, shit. Let's talk about that.
I got fired 3 times. Every time was for my youthful exuberance. Because I was young, but I used to just, like, come in there like I was Dame Dash or Diddy sometimes.
I love Dame Dash.
Bro. I used to come in proud.
You were screaming up in there?
I used to go crazy, but, like, in a good motivational, positive way.
I used to be like that. He used to hate it.
You got fired for that?
3 times.
I'm not a lawyer, but that sounds discriminatory.
They always took me back. That's the thing.
Because they didn't want to get sued.
Yeah, no, they took me back.
They can't fire you for being young.
Yeah, I know that. Oh wow.
Oh no, I'm just
now me being older.
But like,
now I know.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a lawyer.
You didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know at the time.
Yeah, neither did I.
Let me write this down. I did not know.
I'm about to send him a letter.
Like, let me.
But yo, man. So I used to be like that when we met at a very young age. I was 19.
Okay.
And bro, he could tell you I would go in the office screaming like, "Woo! I'm fired up."
Yeah, but it was like annoying. Like, even if he does it now, I still don't want to hear it. Like,
I would be.
You fired up, Jeff.
Yeah, there
like,
we go.
It socks you in the chest. It's like, this is abuse. Like, this is.
I'll smack him, bro. You fired up or what?
You excited?
Just look at me like, yeah, like, just leave me alone. It's early in the morning. It's like 8 in the morning.
Like, shut the fuck up.
That's
so
funny.
you would walk into the office like that, like fired up?
Not lit, but I'm just saying, like, I just felt like I was somebody. I felt like I was somebody,
Yo,
even if I wasn't. I felt like it. You know what I mean?
The inside you
right.
were.
Yeah. So like,
You have to believe you're somebody.
yeah, man. And I'm building websites for them. I'm doing, bro. I'm good at tech stuff, like building sites, apps, all that stuff, editing and stuff.
You have to talk on the side.
So yeah, I was the man doing all that. I was 20, 21. I was the youngest guy there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Bro, when I was 20 years old, I felt like the CEO. I felt like I ran the whole office.
Top of the world.
Yeah. I was like, yo, don't. I used to wear suits too.
Here.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I was 20 years old.
He was lit.
Well, not this particular company,
Right,
but yeah.
There was another office in Bell Gardens in the hood. I would wear suits, and I just something about that. Just throw on a suit and
you feel different.
You feel good. Yeah.
People
feel
stare
good.
at you different. People take you serious as well.
Right.
And yo, man, I used to be out in the streets marketing my business, talking to strangers. Hey, yo, man, I run a financial service office. Blah blah blah. Down the street. Do you ever keep your options open in a suit?
Yeah.
Some people would take me serious. Some people wouldn't. You know.
Like,
but I was grinding in a suit.
Yeah.
Fucking 100 degrees outside, sweating.
I ain't mad at you, man.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the process, though.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
Can't nobody take that away from us.
What's in between this and then? Because I'm like, I got really excited when I saw your IG. Actually, I was showing you off earlier. Like we had some people in the office. I was like, bro, this kid's coming in. Like he's worked with Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
I saw. I was looking for Tyreek. I couldn't. Did you take him off?
It's on the website.
It's on my website.
Got it.
Most of the stuff there.
Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to jump into. So so you're
taking it there.
Yeah.
Well, is there between what's
so you got fired 3 times?
I do want to say in between that, before I started producing on this level, I was doing a lot of stuff independently.
Okay.
So a lot of independent stuff, my own shows, helping people out with their stuff, just to learn how to be a producer, how to be in position of like leading a team, all these type of things that you need in order to be a producer.
internships, all that?
Yeah, like so yeah, I don't want people to think that like, oh, you just jumped there and now you're doing these type of things.
Take us back.
But yeah,
let's be clear on it.
How'd you go about finding opportunities? Like I'm just I'm thinking about people that want to do this.
It's
like
Hollywood, baby.
How man, you allies, man. Like honestly, man, you gotta get your
reputation,
your network of people up, man. You gotta be talking to people all the time.
Okay, so how'd you do it? Social media? You'd go to
guys.
Freaking.
I'm the cold email king.
Cold email. Yeah, let's go.
Let's
talk about
king, man. Like you gotta understand, like if you want to connect with like an executive or anybody, first learn about them, learn about their interests, learn what they're doing currently, and relate it to yourself, and make it an email. Send it to them. I promise you they'll respond.
Give us an example.
Well, I'll give the Lewis Carr example.
Let's talk about
Lewis Carr is from Chicago. He ran track. That's all I needed. And he also was in media sales, just like I was.
Okay.
So I used those 3 elements, related to myself, cold emailed him, and he responded. And then not only that, he came down, and I went there, and we met. So I got invited to the BET Awards because of that relationship.
Wow.
Like.
So study. Okay, so I love that. So to give people steps, right? Even for us, like.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Like find someone you find a mentor, find a hero, someone you look up to.
Someone you really look up to. Yeah.
Study them. Learn about them. Their craft. Find relatable points.
Yes. No, not that yet. Learn what they're doing currently.
Okay.
Get their current events. Like, oh, last week he just whatever it was. Then. With all those resources and elements, relate it to yourself. What have you done last week? Where are you from? How old are you? What is your background, your parents' background? And then put it in a cold email and send it out.
It becomes genuine in that sense.
It becomes super genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say code email, what's a code email?
Means you don't know them.
Okay.
They don't know you.
It's like a cold market call.
Oh, you're saying cold.
Code, yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were saying CODE.
Yeah.
What are you coding?
Code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wow, that's the way.
No. You're good. You're good. That's
I'm gonna say it again. Code.
Yeah.
Code email. Code.
Yeah.
CODE email.
Frio in Spanish.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I love that you had a strategy there and it was working for you.
Super strategy, man. Like.
When I used to cold market prospect, when I was that's what we would call it, talk to strangers on the street.
Yeah.
And when I would call them, I would make it intentional to know something about them. So when I would meet them, based on the conversation that we had, I would take notes.
Yeah.
So when I would call them, but hey man, I remember you said you were gonna be in Arizona this weekend. How was your weekend? How was Arizona? Oh, by the way, this is Vic. I'm the guy who spoke to you outside the Walmart. Do you recall? Oh yeah, I do. Perfect, man. So remember I talked to you about an opportunity.
Right.
Why don't we grab lunch? Let's talk about, you know, a little more what I was talking to you about.
Right.
Things like that.
Something to set you apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to find something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
an edge there. People remember that.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Or even if they say I have kids, how are your kids?
can relate. Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps me substantially in life, man. Just with so much stuff.
That's
so.
crazy though. I've never seen it in an email.
Oh man, I can email, bro.
Well, I could easily hear an objection saying like, "Oh, that's not gonna work." You know how many emails they get?
Yeah.
But you were like, "Nah, it's."
Well, he set himself apart.
You set yourself. Yeah, that's true. Set yourself apart. Like, yeah, like I don't know.
What
man.
was your subject? Like, read it now.
I use the same subject. Reaching out to blank.
Okay,
That's it.
simple but
Reaching
straightforward.
out to blank.
And then boom.
Because reaching out to is like it's
I'm
so
sending out
vague.
emails tonight.
Yeah, like what does that mean? Reaching out to.
I'm sending
you
Messi
know,
an email.
It's not necessarily saying anything like if I
They're
were to put
plain.
a subject where it's like aspiring writer or like something like that, then it's more like you kind of already tell them.
They get that a lot.
Yeah, and not only that, you already tell them what the email is about.
Mm-hmm.
You intrigue them by saying reaching out to. It's like,
Little mystery.
oh wait a minute, reaching out to me
Let me open this.
about what?
Yeah.
Then you read it and it's not like salesy. It's just very like
Well,
Genuine.
reaching out, I like that. That is strategic because it sounds like that could be an old friend, an
Yeah,
old colleague.
reaching
like-
out to boom.
Right.
Smart.
It's been a
Nice,
success.
nice. Okay.
Alrighty. So
Let's do it.
you get fired
Yeah,
3 times. You start doing independent work.
yeah, a lot of independent
You
stuff.
start
and
you start networking. I'm assuming
Start
meeting
networking.
different people. How do you land these big, opportunities like
man. So
NFL? I know over the phone you and I we kind of spoke where you were in the draft.
yeah,
like
the
the-
NFL draft.
the
We was
NFL
up in
draft.
Kansas doing that.
Yeah,
one.
like
but yeah, so
Yeah,
so
I want to hear about all
let's,
that.
let's
Yeah.
talk
If
about
If you don't
that.
mind,
I don't mind. You're here.
please, please.
So how these things work is like I said at the beginning of this podcast is the connections.
Mm-hmm.
So my lady's mom
Mhm.
has a friend
There we go.
who owns a really huge company.
You chose the right one.
Yeah, no, but yeah. Anyways, but I do want to say this before I go further because people think that's it. You have to have a skill set
Mhm.
in order to
Right.
Right.
for it to work.
It's not just the connection.
It's not just a connection. You got to have a skill set as well to know that can you do this. So
Pause.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something real
Yeah,
quick
go
because it relates to like something I've been going through this week. I've been telling myself, look, your hustle will get you in the door, but your mindset and your skill set is what's gonna keep you there.
thank you. So
Mhm.
anyways, man, I'm literally like just doing independent work
Mhm.
and just doing my thing. And then I finally meet my my lady's mom friend.
Okay.
This was 2 years ago.
Mhm.
We met 2 years ago.
Dang.
We sat down 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Kept the relationship.
Yeah,
I'm assuming?
no, we didn't. Not
Oh.
really. We just met. Like, and then we just kind of like, that's it, you know?
Mhm.
2 years later, I get a DM like, hey, are you able to meet?
Mhm.
Next thing you know, I meet with them. The company's called Mile 44. I meet with them. And
Sounds familiar.
yeah, they said, you want to produce this tennis campaign that we're doing in up in Palm Desert?
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, I want to produce it. So I signed on to that project, and yeah, it was a success. It was a great project.
Now, when you say you sign up for that project,
Signed on to produce it, so meaning like I'm pretty much the guy that's gonna produce it, gonna find locations, budget it out,
there we go.
make sure we have all the cast and crew.
So how do you go about all that? Finding the team, the casting crew, the budgeting. Do they give you a budget or you create
Oh
the
yeah, a lot of
budget?
times the brand gives you a budget.
Okay,
So the
okay.
brand will give you a budget, and then you have to manage those budgets.
Typically, what's the average budget
I
for?
would say 200,000, 400,000.
200,000?
Yeah, like cause
Shit,
yeah,
that's a
these people-
huge budget.
These people put money into these things.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, for the big
They
companies.
put a lot of
yeah.
money into it.
Mhm.
Yeah, mind you, and that's
And
small
that's just
scale.
that's just the budget, not to
Yeah.
mention what you got to pay the
Yeah.
actual
Right.
people to get
exactly.
on.
So like, yeah, man. So I went in with a head of like, I mean, my girl was just like, you got to really do a great job on this,
you got to kill
so you
it.
continue working.
Mhm.
So yeah, so me and my girl went to Palm Desert and found the location for the commercial,
Mhm.
and we found the location, 3 locations, and we locked everything in. We shot it, success. Next thing you know, I move on to Champs.
Next thing you know, what?
I move on to the Champs project.
So that opportunity
Yeah,
opens up
The
chance.
doors for other things.
So it's safe to say they loved all the work.
Yeah,
that
I
you
would
did?
say there was. Yeah,
It
it was
was a
great because I
success.
feel like, yeah. Then, like I said, next thing I did was Champs, and then from there, what we do. I produced.
How long ago was this tennis thing?
This was January.
So
Of this year?
Yeah.
So
Shit.
28 years
Oh, right. Wow. Yeah. I like that.
Well, no, it's just because we went back to your story. It's like you've been that's that moment.
You've been grinding, man. So like, and in for me to do it on a bigger scale, especially when the clients are watching over you and looking over you, it feels good when you have a great project that come out.
How nervous were you?
Oh, super nervous.
Yeah.
Super nervous.
But I bet you couldn't tell
crazy.
Yeah, you can't tell in the moment. Yeah,
you had your poker face on.
Poker face all the time.
Hey,
but yeah, when I'm going home, I'm staying up.
Yeah,
like
right.
Nervous,
no sleep.
Anxious.
I'm not sleeping. But from there, man, I'm able to go to Champs and produce that one, and then from there, I'm able to go to Kansas, and that's when I write, direct, and produce for like Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Chase Claypool.
So way more.
So
CeeDee Lamb.
I would go so you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yo,
I think,
come on,
is
bro.
That,
I don't know if you know.
Yo,
bro.
is that the famous draft where
yes.
he gets drafted and he gets the phone? His girl gets his phone and he snatches it.
Wait, you were part of that?
We talked about when
you were at the event.
Yeah, when I met him. I asked him about that situation. That was funny.
It's a freaking famous.
That is a funny moment.
Yeah,
he said
he was on the phone and he goes, no.
Yeah, he said that's so popular for people to talk about with him. But yeah, man. Oh, Sauce Gardner,
Shout out to Sauce, he's dope.
The thing about these situations and what made it just so special to me was I was able to write these things from scratch and was able to do it. Like the Tyreek Hill moment, wrote the script from scratch. Like
that's your creativity.
Yeah, it felt good. I was like, for him to say those words. I remember the first one I did was with Sauce Gardner.
That's dope.
And when because I like directed it, but it was a lot of people. It was like 30 people in the room. It was so packed in the room. But when the executive was like from YouTube, she was like, "All right, say your lines." When they said my lines, oh, my heart dropped. Yeah. When they started saying my lines, because I didn't know he was gonna. Because I wrote that thing on the fly. I wrote it because we. Like 10 minutes from the hotel. So I wrote it real quick at the Airbnb. I was like, all right, let me write this stuff real quick. I don't know if it's going to sound good. Let me write it. So I guess I wrote it, and it must have been good enough because they passed it on to him.
So that you didn't know it might have, there was a chance they weren't going to use it.
I didn't know. I was like, that was very, so when he said those first words.
Your heart dropped. I know that feeling when you're like, oh shit.
I was like, dang, this is dope. Like he's saying what I wrote.
Yeah, like, you're like, you said it wrong. Say it again.
Yeah, like it was good. But I can't lie. It was crazy seeing Sauce Gardner because I'm a Bama fan, so I love Alabama football. So I remember Bama played Cincinnati in the playoff. And Sauce Gardner was like one of the stars of Cincinnati versus our star on Alabama. So when I seen Sauce, it was like, damn, this is crazy. Like,
yeah, for those that don't know who Sauce Gardner is, he's the best cornerback in the league right now for the New York Jets.
The best cornerback. Shut down. Yeah. And honestly, he's a super cool dude. Like, he actually is his name. Like, he's cool, bro. Like, humble guy. Like, yeah, he got the sauce, man. He got the grill, wear the sauce chain, like, got the tats. Like, I worked with Sauce twice this year on 2 different occasions. One in Kansas and then next time in L.A. It was crazy.
What was the experience with Damon?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. What about?
Oh, you want to get to Damien? So wait, before we get to Damien.
Yeah, tell us what else we missed.
Let's backtrack, man.
Who we missed?
Well, we missed Tyreek Hill.
Okay, what was
we missed Tyreek Hill.
Tell me about the cheetah, bro. Come on, there's no
talk about cheetah.
Human.
Come on, bro.
It's because I'm a Chargers fan. He tore us up.
Yeah,
week 1.
No, I like Tyreek.
Yeah,
he's
man.
an inspiration.
We missed the cheetah, man. So the cheetah situation.
Like 200 yards on us.
That one right there.
I ain't gonna forget that, Tyreek.
I can't lie with the cheetah, man. He can control the room by himself. Oh yeah, he was stacked. He had a sweater on though at the time.
No, I know.
So like, yeah.
How tall is he? Like 5'10"?
He has about my height. He's like he was not that.
Yeah, he's our height.
Yeah, he wasn't like crazy tall. This guy was like.
But he's fucking.
Yeah,
he's
stacked, man.
Yeah.
But like
quick.
But Tyreek Hill, he held it down by himself. It was only him in the room. He had his friend with him, but it was only him on this particular set. And obviously the execs was there. But yeah, Tyreek.
Excellent.
He's a star.
He's got a presence.
He's a presence. Yeah, he's a presence, man. And I can't wait till that comes out. It hasn't came out yet, but when it comes out, man.
Is it gonna come out during Super Bowl?
I don't know. We don't know. We've been trying to see when it's gonna come out, but we don't know, man.
What'd you film exactly? Like what?
Oh, so with the segment?
No, yeah, with Tyreek.
Oh, so with Tyreek, we did pretty much a lot of fan questions. So pretty much, he was one question I put was like, Kansas City or City of Miami.
Oof.
So he goes deep into the questions, and then we did like
Miami.
He's got to be. Yeah. He's got to give you a political answer on that one.
And then we did a trivia game where it's like, what meals is this to player wise? So he he choose the players who meals they connected to. So.
And you came up with all that?
All of it.
Nice.
I conceptualized it and like.
So you're officially, what's your title with? You work for Champs.
Man. So I don't. No. So that's just a client. No, like I just like.
Oh, so you got your own company.
I produce.
You're independent.
I produce. I write. I direct. Yeah, when I do stuff with Mount 44, that's me. Whether I'm coming on as a producer, coming on as a writer, director. That's what I do. So like with Modelo, for instance, I produced that campaign. Like.
And that's where Damien was in.
That's where Damien was in. But I feel like. I don't know. I'm trying to think what was more. I think it was all great, but what was greater, Modelo or Dame Lillard? Like, Modelo has the most iconic
a bigger
sound.
Brand.
Yeah.
The sound, dun, 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 dun. Like.
Well, their commercials. You look at that. They get UFC fighters.
It's iconic, bro.
Yeah.
So the fact that I was able to produce a Modelo campaign, regardless of who was in it, even though it was amazing that Dame was in it, but it can be Joe Blow in it.
The fact that it's Modelo.
The name,
Modelo is like, man, I felt good with that. Like, bro, I was working on that one.
It's Mexico's water.
In Kansas, by the way. Doing the NFL draft, I was working on Modelo.
And so as you're working,
I'm working. As I'm in Kansas, I'm working in Santa Monica too.
Shit.
It's amazing, man. So, but that Modelo,
man, it sounds like a lot of fun. But I could just see you kind of bouncing around everywhere, like all over the place.
It's so fun, man. Like it's so fun, especially with the team that we have that I work with. The creative director, Katara, he's a super genius at what he does, and he just helps me every step of the way with everything, you know. And I want to give a shout out too to Latanya Story. I didn't say her name. That's my lady's mom, Latanya Story. Latanya Story. You know, she just does so much for me and us, you know, and for my career, you know.
A great support.
Yeah, great supporter. So like, I just let her know.
How was Damien?
Honestly,
did you get much time to interact? Yeah, okay.
Man, so just
because I don't know if that world is like quick, like you got it's just business.
Let me tell you how it is. So when I'm the producer, I'm the one that's going to make contact with the talent and greet the talent and make sure the talent feels good, make sure the set is running good. But with Dame, man, he had his whole team with him, by the way, his agents and stuff like that. Gotcha. But yeah, he's a super chill guy. Mind you, Dame is pop culture, meaning he's been doing commercials his whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
both him and Tyreek.
Yeah, for him, it's just like I'm gonna come do what I gotta do. 'Cause I remember after us, he went to Mexico City to do a Gatorade commercial. So he's always on the move.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Dame was cool, man. He had Mary. I think it was Mary playing while he was giving him the tour. So he had his R&B playing as we're walking around the park. He's just like nodding his head, telling him what to do, and he's ready to go.
Did y'all film this pre-Bucks or after Bucks?
Pre. Yeah,
nice.
pre-Bucks, yeah.
Nice.
That's dope, man.
But yeah, working with Dame, man.
Just to say that you were in the same place at the same time with this person.
Well, you can say more than that. You can say he said your script, he said your words.
That was Tyreek. Yeah.
With Tyreek, yeah. Even with Modelo, you know, there's always going to be some things you got to change up with the script to make sure that it fits the campaign that we need, you know, to deliver.
Earlier, you brought somebody up that it's one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Dame Dash.
Dame Dash.
I was watching a video of Dame Dash, and they asked him about Rockefeller, if he would do anything different. He said, "Why would I do anything different? Look at what Rockefeller became. That's art.
Yeah.
Like why would I want to destroy art?
Yeah.
So as I'm hearing you, I'm thinking about the art that you're creating. You know, because all these things you're producing, it's truly art.
It's truly art.
It's things that you created here.
And it's digital, like it's always gonna be there.
Always gonna be there.
You could always point to that.
Yeah.
So so you did those two. What's after Damien?
After Dame, what do we do next?
Who's next? Did you anything with our president or?
No president.
That's coming.
Yeah, we got to get you with the boxers.
To be honest, I took a meeting with Nike after that one.
Hey.
Yeah, I took a meeting with Nike. A sit-down meeting.
What when you say you took a meeting, like to possibly work with them?
Yeah, to possibly work.
I was gonna ask you, so you work for Mile 44.
Yeah. So I produce under Mile 44.
Okay.
And a lot of times when they get deals that come in, brands that come in, they'll say, "Can you produce it? Can you write it? Or whatever it may be, can you direct it?" So yeah, I feel like that's another important thing too, guys. You know, a lot of times when we see these movies and shows and all these things, they're connected to a company. You know, when you see like Insidious, you know, it's tied to a bigger company, you know, and they hire directors, producers, and writers to make sure this thing is laid out the way that it needs to be laid out.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's not always about being an entrepreneur and having your own thing. It's great, but you can also own 100% of nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
It's, if you notice in the media world, the most important thing are partnerships. Kanye West, partnerships.
Yep. Adidas,
You know,
Nike.
with Nike, Adidas, you know,
Well, even
when
with
he signs a
us.
record deal, it's about partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, me, I understand that, yes, I can do all this stuff myself, but I need the partnership so I can expand and keep growing.
Well, you need equipment,
Yeah,
you need a team, you need money.
You need the team, the money, the resources. Look at all these tech entrepreneurs. They have all these investors, you know, partnerships to keep their thing moving.
And it ties into what we said earlier. Your network is your net
Is your net worth. That's exactly, man.
That's going to be the title of this. Network is your net worth.
Yeah, so for me, man, I understand the value of just having partners, man. Because regardless of who I did it under or for, the executives of NFL was still there. The executives of YouTube was still there. Tyreek Hill was still there. Dame Lillard was still there. Modelo was still there. Chance Exec is still there. You know what I mean? I'm still in the room. So it's like, man, stop being so overconsumed with like doing stuff yourself.
Right. I was just about to say, hold on. Are we doing the same thing?
I don't know. It's not about.
There's a saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far and further, get a team.
Get a team, man.
You need a team.
My question is, so what do you think about this whole expression and idea of being self-employed? Just that term.
That's a great. I feel like self-employed is
that even
uncertainty? First off, a lot of uncertainty. Self-employed.
I feel like my take on it is like it's not true. I don't think there's it's not to be no one is self-employed.
Yeah, no one is self-employed
because everybody has a team. Like maybe you're the head of the team.
Yeah,
but you're not self-employed. Self-employed means it's a team of one.
Yeah,
and that's not.
I would say a barber's a team of one, unless he has a barber shop and he has multiple chairs. Then he becomes, you know, it becomes a team. But if you're just one man,
but even just like the journey, right, of like getting somewhere, like no one does it alone. Like to get investors, to get any kind of support, just your story.
You need people, man.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, like when I'm on set with these people, like even Dame's team or any, you connect with them afterwards. You got their numbers, you get their Instagrams, you get their LinkedIn. You connect with. So like, man, like don't be so overconsumed of being alone out here and doing stuff that you get no points for that. Okay, you did it alone. Okay.
Right.
That's just like ego. Right. That's just ego.
Yeah, like much. I'm doing way more with people than you're doing by yourself. So what is that? And like also it takes time too, man. It takes time. Like some of your biggest writers and directors and producers, they have partnership deals with networks and studios. They sign deals.
Right.
They have agents and managers taking cuts of their money. They have lawyers. They have an established group of people and support around them so they can continue doing what they do. You know what I mean? So I feel great doing what I do. Like I feel like I'm in a great position.
Is your kind of like to wrap things up, but like your vision, Tim, like I want to assume like, do you want to be that Mile 44 one day? Have your own
for me,
company?
So for me, I really do appreciate the brand space, and I think it helped me grow a lot. Just doing bigger jobs and like understanding how to produce on a higher level. But for me, man, executive company, so people know. I create shows, man. I do like. I want to do major films and stuff like that. This is a great, like I said, I love where my feet is at right now, but it's all about getting to that next level.
Right.
You use this moment to grow. Shoot, when Jay-Z was 28, he just got on at 28. Jay-Z just became who he was at 28. Think about it.
And no label signed him.
Yeah,
no label wanted to sign him.
No label signed him at 28, but Dame Dash did believe in him. And now look, at his age, he's somewhere totally different.
Right.
He ain't doing what he was. He has his, Roc Nation. He's management now. So yeah, for me, I love where I am. I love, how far I came. I love the journey that I'm on right now, and I love where I am right now. I wouldn't change this at all.
Right.
And
what do you say to someone that doesn't feel that way about their journey right now? Someone that's like, they feel maybe stuck or their perspective isn't as positive, like, they're just not, things aren't going their way, like, because I can feel it. Like, not only are you saying it, but I mean, I think I speak for all of us in the room. We can feel the positivity. Right. We can feel that you're genuinely enjoying this and you're happy. But how do you help someone that's like not like that? Like, what would you say to that person? Like,
get around people. The only time you feel that way because you're alone. if you feel this way, it's a lot of times because you don't have no
That's
one
probably
around
true.
you.
They're probably isolated.
Yeah,
And
you isolate
they're in their own
yourself.
mind.
Yeah,
They're in
you gotta get out of your head and get like, don't overconsume yourself with where you are. Get around people, man.
Surround yourself with people that have the same vision as you.
Yeah.
If you want to be a producer, hang around some producers, directors, start picking their brains and learning from them.
Exactly, man. And if not, if you don't have that, resource, look online, watch videos, bro. Yeah. Television raised me.
Yeah.
It raised all of us. Television and music and stuff. That's who
true.
raised you. Like,
easily.
So yeah, like understand. Like, it's
Everybody Hates Chris is my show.
Yeah, I love Hates Chris. Yeah, so
yeah.
But yeah, man. But yeah, executive co, man. I just did a short film, Don't Sleep. Young Creed. I did a pilot for Young Creed.
I saw that.
Yeah. I do, like I said, the Unsolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Tupac and Biggie. That was dope.
I did the I pretty much curated this event. Like my friend who was on the show as Biggie, he wanted to do this event where he brings together the producers, directors, and writers. So I curated the whole thing, and I did that for the last couple years now. So, and also the creator of that show is my great friend now, Cal Long. Shout out to Cal Long. He's a great mentor of mine as well. So yeah, man, I'm just collecting my people, network, and just going, man.
Just building.
And it reminds me, so I used to work at a country club, Mulholland Tennis Club.
Yeah.
And in that country club, there's a lot of producers and writers.
Yeah.
And I remember I would serve to these people, and they were locked in with their laptops, like just working. I gotta meet this gentleman by the name of Frank Pine. I don't know if it rings a bell, but he worked. If I'm correct, it was like CBS. He produced shows for CBS. Ben something, who forgot his last name.
Cohen?
No, not Ben Cohen. Adash or something like that, who produced a show that's on Netflix called Unlimited or something like that. It's about like Bitcoin and
dope. Okay, it's like a docu type series.
No, it was actually like a show.
Oh, like a show.
Yeah. I gotta meet great people like that.
Yeah.
That are producers, are directors. But one thing I definitely noticed about them, that they were always zoned in.
Yeah,
like
man.
They were in their zone, and they go to a quiet place. So like when Frank Pine would come to the club, it was around times where nobody was there. And he would literally sit down and he'll be there for hours just typing. I'll come, hey, yo, Mr. Pine, do you want some water?
He was intentional about like having no distractions.
Great person though. Very, very humble, genuine.
Yeah.
He would always acknowledge me, look me in my eyes. And
that's beautiful.
Yeah, I was just like, man, this guy's dope. Like
even on the status, you're saying his status, but he's still giving you respect. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm a server here, but
he's treating you like you're not.
Yeah, he would treat me as a friend. Like he wouldn't treat me as he didn't make me feel as a server. He made me feel as a friend. And he'll be, hey Vic, how you doing today? And who knows what's on his mind? Like I'm sure he got a lot of shit going on. And for him to acknowledge me and say hi, always gave me, slip me a 5 or 10 to the side. I appreciated that. Yeah. Shout out to Frank Pine.
Frank Pine, thank you for taking care of my good friend here. My man, so you've accomplished a lot, but it sounds like you feel like you're just getting started.
Man, I'm just getting started.
There's so much more for you to do.
Like, yeah, man. Like I just turned 28 on the 25th. Scorpio.
25th of October. Happy late birthday.
Yeah. So
October 17th.
Almost deaf. Yeah. So man, like
you're 28 as well.
28. Yeah, we're the same age.
So yeah, right now, man, I'm just really diving back into my scripted space and like just doing more. I'm doing a award show actually in February.
Hey.
So like for around the Super Bowl time too, February in Vegas.
BT.
So man, like I'm just super, super grateful for where I am. Yeah, I didn't say blessed, but I'm grateful for where I am.
And you know what, man? On that note, bro, I want to say that I'm glad I met you. I'm glad that we got to talk and learn a little bit about obviously our fields.
And we're very similar.
Definitely.
Now that we talk, the childhood and.
Well, we actually get that a lot. We get that we're cousins.
Yeah.
But
wait, did you say we look similar? I think you said we're all similar.
Yeah, all similar.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you said we look similar. I'm like, oh yeah, we get that a lot.
That too.
But nah, man, definitely.
My little brother, but
definitely, yeah. Shout out to
he's
little
not
bro.
as blessed with
but what I was gonna say is that definitely somebody that I want around my circle to pick your brain and learn from. I feel like we all. They say a high tide raises all ships. And if you're around people that are at a high level, that are going the same place, guess what? We're all gonna raise our game to that as well, man. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely,
I mean, for me as well, like I think number one, you're a good recruiter, bro.
Know what I'm saying?
Like, I remember, I think I told you over the phone, but when you drove him, it was to our first podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember him telling me about, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, because, it was our first podcast. Yeah. Kind of like you felt you were so nervous. Yeah. I was freaking out. I was like, yeah, Tim, all right, go.
It was a
like,
professional boxer.
Yeah. We had a professional. We had the champ in here.
Raul.
Yeah.
Who's fighting in January in Vegas.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see him. So, nah, brother, but I can say the same thing. Like, I think the way you carry yourself, like even your whole story, like you really, I feel like you're one of those few people, and I really mean this because I've studied a lot of people as well, like you. I mean, you noted we have a lot of similarities. We're all very driven, and I'm sure we all have our people that we look up to, that we study. And one thing the stories that always kind of stick out to me is the people that start young. Yeah, because it's like, how? Like, It's kind of like, it's really like just God, like in my opinion, and it's, for me, it's different. I think the majority of people figure these things out later.
Right.
Yeah.
So for you to have that at age of 12 to write your own script, I think that's impressive. So,
bro, like when you were writing scripts, I was trying my first beer.
Oh, wow.
Like, so mine was opposite.
Yeah.
I got introduced to all the bad stuff at a very young age, but then I was like, oh,
then
shit.
you turn your life around.
Yeah. And just look, like full circle, fast forward, they're both 28. I'm a little bit older. Here we are.
You look 28.
Thank you. But it's like what he said earlier, like focus on your own lane.
Yeah.
Focus on your own timeline.
Focus on that stagger.
Man,
right.
if there's one word that I could describe you just meeting you obviously today and getting to know you more, is just purpose driven.
Man,
you knew your purpose was high. What was that? Oh, purpose driven. My bad.
I'll give you that.
Hyphen.
Thanks, Bryce. Yeah. Just purpose driven. Like that's how I can describe you. They say who's Tim? He's a purpose driven individual.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, bro.
And by the way, this was great. I know you said y'all just started this thing, but y'all ran this thing like y'all been doing this forever. Like someone that had this vision for a long time, didn't they?
You know what, bro? I'm gonna take credit on that. I had it in 2020.
He's had great credit on it. Yeah.
So I wanted to do a podcast in 2020, and I wanted to interview like people that I knew that were entrepreneurs. But it's just crazy how life unfolds. We had an opportunity to sponsor boxers, and then Marlon and I share the same vision. I think that's how this all really started.
Well, we started one.
Like
but
that was more you though.
Oh, okay.
That was
it's like I've been having this thing brewing, but I think
I was his first guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were gonna be the co-host, but it didn't go far. We started it and finished it the same day.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of like
there was a bigger purpose, bro.
Trial and error, and then like you said, partnerships. Like shout out to Albert. This is his equipment. And
partnerships is important. It don't matter whose it is. Like it does matter, but I'm saying you're still doing it. Right, you're doing it greatly. Like
thank you.
So
no, we appreciate that coming from someone that
who understands.
I mean, but for real, like you're over here dealing with Marlon and Victor, like you had Tyreek and Damien. So
give me in a commercial with Tyreek and them.
Man, I got you, man, for sure.
Man, on a real note though, bro, one thing I do need help with, man, is like we had an opportunity to sponsor this golfing event.
Yeah.
And they wanted us to like promote the event or
on
like,
your podcast.
No, like they had cameras out there, so we had things that we sponsored, and bro, for whatever reason, I couldn't get my words together when it came down to like saying the words and shit. Like I was struggling.
But he did great. Like he still managed to push through, and I told him like it's just more practice. It was his first. I mean, we talked about it, but the first, not to bore you through the details, but true story, I sat right there, my first podcast 2 years ago, I choked. Physically, Albert's sitting right there. He asked me a question, Marlon, what do you think?
You
can't get some water.
Okay, you're just
like so you did great compared to me. Like I really choked, like
bro, it was 3 days 2 nights. That shit still stuck in my head.
Wow, I thought I was the only one, man, because
you too?
I have a hard time speaking.
Really?
Like
that's
to
so
people.
Funny. Isn't it crazy that people? Because you know how it is. People will look at us like, "Oh, you guys are so good. You guys, you're born like this." Like, no.
I still
I can't lie, bro. I had some prep before I came here.
Yeah.
Like before I came here, I'm like, all right, all right, this
Nah.
my confidence. I'm in the mirror, like
yeah, we're human, and you know
so
what?
I'm in the car talking to myself. Yeah, you go be confident when you talk.
That's right.
Right, and then you get in here, your heart starts beating. You forget everything. You forget your name.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I'm saying?
one thing
You're
I would
sweaty.
say, you guys,
Blackout.
because I just did the podcast last week. You guys made this thing so comfortable that my heart didn't beat fast once.
Hey,
So, man.
thank you, bro.
I didn't
We
beat
appreciate
fast once.
that.
Like
We appreciate that.
I sat down and I just feel like I should be here.
You know,
That's right.
we appreciate
Should
that,
be.
and we're gonna hold that with us. But one thing we're intentional with is like being ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you know it's funny. We didn't touch on this at all, but I think I told you in the phone call, or maybe it was. I think it was you. But like our first podcast, episode number 1, we came in totally different. We came in with scripts.
Oh, you did say that.
Yeah. So we came in. I was like, yeah. So Tim, how do you feel like?
Yeah.
So
and it made it awkward, right?
It didn't. You know what? Thankfully, it wasn't awkward, but it
Raul
wasn't.
did a great job. Yeah.
It wasn't this.
Yeah.
Where we
Like-
decided episode 2, we were like, nah, man, you know what? Let's just be ourselves. We're good at talking. Let's just fucking talk. Let's see where the convo goes.
Yeah.
And just ask questions as the convos goes, and it's more organic that way and natural, and that's
Yeah.
really what we're looking for.
Because we didn't have a
this was
game
just-
plan with you. We were
Yeah.
just like,
Oh,
you
that's
know.
you don't need one, man.
Yeah.
I would have started it anyways. I would have made
Right,
sure.
right.
I would make sure we got here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And honestly,
exactly.
we're gonna do more. I think in the future too, if I come back to this thing to see where we are later.
Hopefully
like,
you're not too big enough for us.
No, man. Like
You got to call my assistant.
Nah, I ain't never gonna be too big for nobody, man.
These diamonds are gonna get bigger.
Yeah,
I
Right?
couldn't
nah.
even see. Are you still there? This
No,
is so bright.
I'm never gonna be too big, man. I'm just gonna keep going, man. And everyone
I
that's
could
with
feel
me
that
now,
you're a humble guy, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm taking them with me, bro. That's how, bro. I win by being this type of way.
That's right.
It's
like,
true.
Being a cocky person that
You lose connections.
Bro,
Yeah, people don't want to fuck with you.
nah,
Like
like
Straight
I'm
up.
not that guy at all, bro.
that. Yeah.
Man, I say this and I say this proud. I say if I win, we all win.
Yeah,
that's my
that's-
mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, anybody that supported me or even gave me words of wisdom and encouragement, I win. We all win.
Yeah.
Like I don't forget that. So
Yeah.
shout
Amen
out to
to
everybody
that.
that's encouraged me.
Tim,
Yeah,
thank you
man.
so much, bro.
Appreciate you.
you.
Yeah, man.
Vic,
My man,
G, Bryce behind the scenes over here.
Man.
Bryce.
Guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna post. I mean, by the time you see it, it's already posted.
Yeah.
We're gonna post his Instagram and a few other links, whatever he wants us to.
Definitely my website. If y'all
Hell yeah.
www.xctveco.com.
Let's
That's
get it.
Executive Co, short for Executive Company. We do TV, we do film, we do a little bit of brand work. We have fun.
For all my professional boxers, you guys want to produce a video, interview, this is your man.
Yeah.
I was gonna say anybody that like wants to be Tim, that wants to be like Tim, he just gave you the strategy on how to do it. Cold email, study him, find out what he's currently doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Hit him up. He's a great guy, and you know,
I really appreciate
yes,
that.
sir. Like
Yeah,
I know
appreciate that.
he's gonna
Appreciate that.
help you guys out.
Yeah.
So again, thank you, Tim. Thank you,
For
Vic.
sure.
You guys have a good
great
one.
night.
Cool.
Sweet.